So guys, welcome back to another video. In this one today, we're going to be talking about the brand new Ultimate Scream promo, which has just dropped in Ultimate Team, and we're going to focus on particularly this brand new objective, which is the Scream Edin Dzeko objective, in which you are rewarded with an 87 rated Dzeko, which actually looks like a pretty good card for Ultimate Team. Well, it could be decent anyway. One of the first things I'll say is, guys, do you want to see a Scream Edin Dzeko player review? If you do, leave a like rating on this video, and I'll get that out for you guys within the next 24 hours. Also, before we continue into this video, do have to shout out my sponsors, OneFootball. If you need an app to keep up to date with the latest news in football, give OneFootball a download. It's absolutely free, so you may as well give it a go. There's a link to download it in the description below. Anyway, without further ado, shall we just get into this video? Let's talk about this Scream Edin Dzeko card. It's just gone past 6 PM, and as you can see, EA don't have the card design loaded into the game, which is pretty insane, but hopefully that will be updated soon. Anyway, let's talk about how you can get your hands on this Scream Dzeko item. So the first thing you've got to do is score 10 goals in online survival. Now this is a really easy objective to do because you can do it against a friend. Just go to play a friend, invite a friend to a game, and just like ask them to let you score 10 goals and then quit, and then you've got an objective done. It really is that simple. So that is obviously a bonus. The next objective that you have to complete is the All the Roads Lead to Rome. For this one, you've got to win 4 squad battle games using a player from the Bundesliga, the Premier League, and the Serie A on a minimum of professional difficulty. Once again, this objective is actually really easy to do, especially considering it's on professional difficulty. Even players who don't play squad battle much will be able to win at that difficulty, and if you're still struggling, just keep updating and just come up against squads like these where you've got like a bronze camming goal and you're just going to score goals for fun. So the first 2 objectives for this Dzeko are really easy and really shouldn't take you that long either. Obviously the squad battle ones won't be done too quick because you do have to play 4 games, but to be honest, like 4 games, it's going to take you about just under 2 hours, so that's not terrible for an 87 rated item. For the next objective, the Lethal Strike objective, you've got to score 5 goals using a low-driven shot in Rivals. Now this one might be a bit difficult for some people to do. If you don't know how to perform the low-driven shot in FIFA, what you've got to do is press shoot, and then on the PlayStation you want to be holding L1 and R1, and on the Xbox you want to be holding LB and RB. So that is how you will perform the low-driven shot in FIFA. Now in Rivals, that one might be a bit of a pain to do depending on your opposition. So in fact, all of these Rivals related objectives could be relatively difficult depending on what division you are in. Like for those of you who are in Division 1 or 2, I think some of these might be quite tough, but if you're in the lesser divisions, obviously you should get through these ones relatively easy. The next one is the Giant Slayer objective. For this one, you've got to score a goal using a player with a max of 75 pace and a minimum of 80 physical. So they want you to use like pretty big forwards up front. Players like Olivier Giroud. In fact, no, Giroud doesn't count this year because he doesn't have 80 physical, so you actually wouldn't be able to use him. Can you use Zapata for this one? Yes, you can. He's got 71 pace and 83 physical, so Duvan Zapata, the Colombian forward from the Serie A, might be an ideal player to use for this objective, so consider picking him up. The next one is the Slow and Steady Wins objective. You've got to assist 10 goals using forwards with a max of 83 dribbling and a minimum of 70 passing. Now, it's interesting that this one's called Slow and Steady Wins because you could just use a player with 90 pace. Like, there isn't a limit on pace on this objective, so I recommend just getting a fast forward which doesn't have the best dribbling and then pair him up front with a player like Zapata, and that way you can get both of them objectives done pretty quickly together, so that's pretty cool. The final objective is the Bosnian Diamond, so score a goal from a cross using a Serie A player in 4 separate rival wins. So that one obviously could take a bit of time because scoring from crosses isn't easy or too easy in FIFA 20. I'm not saying it's like really difficult, but compared to previous FIFAs, crossing obviously is much more difficult. But you can do all these 3 together, all 4 of these together, using a Serie A squad with someone like Duvan Zapata up front. So I definitely think he's a player worth looking at. Anyway, now we've looked through the objectives, which I don't think are too difficult. Let's now take a look at this Edin Dzeko item, shall we? So this is your reward for completing all those objectives. Is he worth getting? So the guy's got a 5-star weak foot, which is definitely a bonus in FIFA 20. Sadly though, his skill moves are limited to just 2 stars. But nonetheless, he's 6'4" and he's got a decent looking item. So How are his in-game stats? Well, his pace looks alright, probably would bang something like a Hunter or some kind of pace boost on this guy if I'm being honest. Shooting stats wise, really good positioning of 91, decent finish, well, really good finishing of 90, really good shot power of 88, and on top of that, 94 composure. In front of goal, with those shooting stats and the 5-star weak foot, this guy should be pretty lethal in game. So I'm expecting this card to score plenty of goals. In the passing department, you can see that the stats aren't too great. He's got an alright short passing stat and not terrible long passing, but everything else is pretty bang average. Dribbling wise, he's got some really good stats and some really bad ones. The agility of 63 is terrible and the balance of 40 is abysmal, but really good reaction stat of 94, really good ball control of 96, decent in-game dribbling of 86, and obviously really good composure of 94. Physically, the guy's got decent strength of 83, average stamina of 73, and really good heading accuracy of 86. So overall, this card looks decent. It definitely looks like a card that in-game is going to be a finisher. It looks like a card that definitely is going to put away some chances if you put them on a plate for him. So I do think this card is worth getting, and obviously it's a free item, so it's always going to be worth getting. Even if you don't plan on using that Dzeko, an 87 rated card could be useful at some point to put into an SBC. Okay, we've spoken about Dzeko quite a bit now. Now let's move on to the actual Scream squad and let's talk about some of these players, shall we? Because some of them look pretty freaking awesome. Now, previously in the Scream promos in Ultimate Team, EA did like temporary boosts for these players. However, this year, EA tweeted out saying these boosts are permanent, so that is pretty awesome. So the boosts you see on these cards are going to stay, so that is pretty cool. The first card we're obviously going to talk about is going to be that 88 rated Ibra. That card looks pretty freaking insane. Obviously, in FIFA, Ibra already has really good shooting stats, but now he's got pace. So this Scream card is very similar to his flashback card of last year's Ultimate Team, and damn, that flashback card in FIFA 19 was absolutely unreal. It's one of the best cards all year long. So maybe this Scream Ibra card will perform like that. Do you guys want to see a review on that card? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to try and review a bunch of these Scream items, so let me know which ones you want to see a video on in the comment section down below. Next up, we have a Scream Aguero. I can't believe they put Aguero into this promo. He's already got a really high-rated card. I don't think he needed to be in this promo, but nonetheless, I wouldn't complain if I packed this card. It's a really nice Aguero item that's been boosted a lot in both the pace and physical departments. The next card is James Milner. Now, James Milner actually came out as an SBC, and he currently costs quite a bit because you need you need 3 85 rated squads to get him. So yeah, he's not too cheap. He's got a decent looking card though, plenty of 80s on his card stats, but I don't know if he's worth 3 85 rated squads if I'm being fully honest. The next item is a 87 rated Dele Alli. Now, this guy, once again, just like James Milner, has a pretty well-rounded item. He's been given like a +10 on his defending, a +8 on his physical. Those are his biggest boosts, so he's got a relatively nice card. Not the most amazing of items, though. Otamendi. Now, this guy's been given one of the most exciting boosts for the Scream promo, in my opinion, because in FIFA, Otamendi's normal card has 56 pace. This Scream item has 80 pace, so I think this centre-back Otamendi is going to be very freaking good in game, and this is actually one of the Scream items that I do want to try out at some point. Thomas Muller is also in this promo. He's been given a big boost on his pace and dribbling, a +13 on his pace and a +10 on his dribbling, so that card could be pretty good for Bundesliga teams. Sabitzer got a big boost on his defending and passing. Who's next? Romagnoli, another player, another centre-back who had pretty average pace. He had 63 pace before his Scream card. He's now got 81, so he could be a really good centre-back for the Serie A. He's also 6'2", so he could actually be an absolute beast in game. The next Scream card we're going to talk about is Rafael Guerreiro, and this guy got a pretty big boost on both his pace and physical stats. He got a +16 on his pace and a +27 on his physical, so that is a very interesting item indeed. William Carvalho, a CDM who is normally just used for SBC food, now has a Scream item which looks like a really good defensive midfielder item. He's been boosted really heavily on both his pace and shooting, a +33 on his pace, a +27 on his shooting, so that is another very nice item. We've also got a Jesus Navas who got himself an SBC. His big boost came on his shooting, which was a plus 13, and a plus 17 on his physical. Now there are a bunch of other Scream items which obviously we haven't discussed in this video, but there's obviously so many. I don't want to talk about all of them and for this video to be like an hour long, but obviously there is a Bernard which looks pretty cool as well, so I'm looking forward to trying out that Bernard because he is actually one of the cheaper Scream cards that have been released. Anyway guys, we've had a quick discussion about the latest promo in Ultimate Team. Let me know your thoughts on the Ultimate Screen promo so far, and let me know which players from it you want to see me review, and also let me know your thoughts on that Scream Dzeko objective. If you've enjoyed this video or found it useful, please do remember to leave a like rating on it. As I said, I'll try and get a Dzeko review out for you either tonight or tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.